Okay, loves, please welcome back to yet another trending story segment with me, literally Nandi and Altido have set the Twitter streets ablaze following their recent podcast. It's just a lot of topics that Nandi covered on that podcast, but unfortunately, the one and only segment Nyana that is catching a lot of attention from the social media people would be the part where she was saying that we as women need to give grace to South African black men, especially those with clear intentions, okay? And I did see that online, some people went as far as comparing Black Coffee's ex-wife Enhle Mbali to Nandi, right? And I'm sure most of you guys understand that by now. Enhle was being the villain. She has been the villain, she should have stayed in her marriage, irrespective of the fact that Black Coffee was fetching kids outside of their marriage. She should have never said anything about the abuse, the emotional, physical abuse that she endured during her marriage with Black Coffee. She's not a good woman. She is the worst. She's the villain. She's the devil of the devilist. Okay, that is the picture that a lot of men on X are trying to paint of Enhle Mbali. And I did see that there's just a lot of tweets speaking about, or rather comparing Enhle and Nandi. There is just one person that Black Coffee decided to respond to. So the initial tweeter here, guys, was this person was once again comparing Umbali Enhle to Nandi, and she said two different types of women, of course, trying to make Enhle the villain. And Umihlali basically was quoting under that original tweet, right? And she said, one woman married a good man who treats her well. She speaks about men from a place of having experienced love, care, protection, and grace, even from a man who still shows up when he is not at his best. Another woman, being Enhle Mbali, married a terrible man and endured domestic and financial abuse. She speaks from the reality that no matter how good you are as a wife, how much you serve, or how much you do right, none of that guarantees a good marriage, okay? These are two women shaped by very different experiences. Both are good women, both supported their husbands and their careers, both extended grace. They are simply speaking from where they met him. Not Black Coffee Kesana responding. He says, do you have any proof of this financial and domestic abuse? I could threaten legal action against your baseless accusations, but instead I'll go to your level. Yo, guys, just because I'm quiet, it doesn't mean I don't have a voice when I'm soon. Okay? That was the response Black Coffee gave to one of the people that was basically trying to defend Enhle. We are not seeing him anywhere where people are trying to vilify Enhle Mbali, but when they are now trying to show us another perspective of why Enhle Mbali ended up coming out to speak about her marriage, there is Black Coffee Kesana responding. So the person also responded to Coffee and said, please do not threaten legal action. I am poor. I'll accept being Tukwat Gesana rather. Okay? And that was the response that Black Coffee gave in this entire conversation, guys. I also wanted to basically share with you guys the response from the people after Dineo said what she had to say about this topic of giving black South African men grace. In the meantime, please do watch these short clips. Then I'll be back at the end of the video with the rest of my commentary.
You're gonna hate me for this one, but you want grace for problems you fetch. You don't have to have children when you are under stress, when you are under privilege, but you have them. Most black men who have multiple baby mamas are people who can't afford themselves. They can't. You don't have a home. There's nothing your children can inherit. When women take you to maintenance court, you feel that they are inconsiderate. You say they must have grace for you. First baby mama is already claiming 1,000 rand from you. So second baby mama must give you grace by claiming 500 rand. Her child must not eat because you've already made a child with this person. Black men create problems for themselves because they don't want to prioritize. They know how to, they don't want to. The same men who want grace, but car wash, throwing their lives away. No direction. No, let's meet, let's do something, majimbos. But people must give them grace. It's an uncomfortable topic. It's not nice to hear. It's the same when I'm holding women accountable. Accountability is not nice. When they give you the mirror and say, look at the problem, you're not going to like it. The same guys who want grace don't have a simple thing, sexual discipline. They multiply their own problems. And then they want grace. Kanjan.
Yo guys, so Dineo strikes again basically. Now, after she was trending yesterday, a lot of people were not happy with how she was engaging Nandi on this topic of giving men grace, and they were attacking her personal choices. For example, you know, the fact that she's got three different children from three different men, and they were saying that, you know, she was fired from Kaya FM, she has been suspended, and also she has a 7-month failed marriage, so therefore she does not have a say in such topics. She should take several seats and not even engage in such. Now she has come back, and this is what she now had to say, responding to the people that are coming for her and saying she does not have a say in such topics because yena nje ungumratu kahle kahle. So she says here, they are still going to throw very heavy insults at me for my contemplation on Nandi's statement. It's alright, if all you can bring to this discussion is my poor choice in men, then I have a lot more unpacking of this topic to do. Nandi highlighted that the system is against black men. I would like to make it very clear that my contribution to this topic is about this very system and the black man's role in the economic emancipation of the black people in the system that is against them. I'm not currently discussing abuse, relationship, marriage, umjolo, etc. No, that is not what I'm discussing. If the system is against them, and because the system is designed for the collective and not an individual, then as part of the people from whom empathy is expected, you can't really expect me to pour out empathy without a SWOT analysis, right? I must analyze the system that is against our men, as well as analyze the current way the men are fighting the system and future possible ways. No, you don't think that's what I should be doing? Okay. She says this has nothing to do with how we relate romantically as men and women, even from the woman engaging. If the first thing you contribute is your personal romantic experience with men, then I must be clear to you that we are not speaking the same language. So where does my poor choice in men enter the chat when I didn't even once make an example using umjolo? I didn't speak of gender-based violence, and I surely didn't touch on marriage and husbands, this, wives, that. You see how we lack depth as people. Always quick to take offense and never interested to give comprehension. The minute a person says their system in reference to black people, my brain sees politics, not romance umjolo warawara. Let's unpack the movement and posture of the black man in a system that is against him and how we can best support them without losing ourselves in the process. This is not allowed. This is upsetting you. Surely you can't just expect us to just be okay with the fact that the system is against our men and we must just follow with an outpouring of empathy. There are real moving parts that need to be addressed there, and we should need, okay, as women, to be sure about a way forward with our empathy. Isn't it the curse of the system falls on us too? I love being led, called to being compassionate, empathetic, but I am advised not to be led blindly. So I will, by all means want a meeting of the minds and hearts to unpack. And to all the women saying, I'm shooting Unandi down, stop it. Labora hampe lona on social media. You know very well that's not what I'm doing. Ugh, women also, why are we always happy for a girl fight, yet we pretend for being a girl's girl? If my girlfriends give me advice on a matter, should I not question or interrogate it further? Come on, guys. This is a beautiful opportunity for men to give us space as women to discuss our empathy towards them and unpack to ourselves the possible ways of seeing all layers of this topic. The only difference is I didn't approach it from a romantic viewpoint. It's political for me. I'm not canceling empathy. I'm saying let's protect it because it's of high value. We have so much more to unpack, ladies. If we're talking about a system that is against any black person, man or woman, it's political in my viewpoint. I like to leave my personal life experiences out the way and address the politics. Because before the politics affects an individual, they impact a people. It's a collective chat about economics for me, not an individual one about romance. Yet, cause it filters down, but I'm not there yet. Not all softness is wisdom. Okay, she goes back to what she was saying. And she says, you really thought I was assassinating Unandi here. You really thought that statement is a jab at her. The topic is empathy. Empathy is seen as softness. Softness is often manipulated and taken advantage of. It would be unwise to express softness without discernment. I cannot believe you turned that into something cruel. Not all softness is wisdom. Okay. Right? And then she goes on to the dictionary and gives us a description of the difference between softness and wisdom, right? And in closing, she says, over 30 years, we've given empathy to our black leaders in governance. Over 30 years of empathy and hope. And what are the results? It goes back to that statement she made about the Madlanga Commission, slave queens being given money, etc. And she says, guys, this example stands. I'm for the people before I am for an individual. My viewpoint is about the system, not how we relate romantically. That is at individual's level. I am addressing matters, right, of the systems that is against the black South African man and how it impacts his economic emancipation and his role in it. And that is what Udini said. Batong, it's a beautiful Monday. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you shortly. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Bye.